This is Module 5, Lesson 23. In this module lesson, we will be adding and multiplying unit fractions to build fractions greater than 1 using a visual model. So that means tape diagrams and number lines, and we'll try a few without. Our first problem is the application problem. We'll be building off of some things that we've done in the past. Mrs. Wilcox is cutting quilting squares, and she's divided them into 8 piles, and she's decided to sew one pile each night. After 5 nights, what fraction of the quilt was sewn together? So let's get into a tape diagram, and if we start, we're going to look at our tape diagram. And we know that she made 8 piles. Here's 1 pile, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 piles. So let's confirm. Always check 1 pile, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 piles. There's our 8 piles. We know that after 5 nights, she sewed 1 pile per night, and after 5 nights. So what we're going to look at is, here is 1 night, 2 nights, 3, 4, and 5 nights. So of the 5, we've used 5 of the 8 nights piles have been sewn together. So it says what fraction of quilts has been sewn? 5/8 of the quilt fractions, quilt squares have been sewn together. Let's look at our first problem. We will multiply a whole number times a unit fraction. In this case, the whole number is 6. The unit fraction is 2. I would like to think of this multiplication in the terms of addition. We know that when we multiply this, we're taking 6 half inches and adding them together. So on your whiteboard, please write this out. Now that we've got this written, we're going to think of this in addition, and we're going to break it down into units as we add this. I know that 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. So we're going to break this into smaller chunks. We're going to add this together. We're going to add these 2 halves together. We're going to add these 2 halves together. So we have 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. Plus 1/2 and 1/2 equals another 1. Plus 1/2 and 1/2 equals another 1. And now what we can do is we're going to go 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2, or 6 times 1/2 would equal 3. Our answer is 3. This problem would be solving the same problem. 6 times 1/2 equals what? We don't know yet. But we're going to use the number line and the associative factor property to solve it. So let's start out. We know that we're going to have 6 halves. So we're going to start with 0. Here's 1/2. Here is 1. Here is another half. This is 2. Here's another half. And this is 3. So let's make sure we have 6 halves. We have 1/2 here, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves, and 6 halves. So again, we're going to start at 0. We're going to multiply it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our answer is 3 using the associative property. Let's look at another problem real quick. We're going to solve this one. We're going to take 10 times 1/5. Again, we're going to draw a number line, and we're going to put 10/5 in here. Here is 0, 1/5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This would be 10/5. We also know that 5 over 5 is 1. So 5/5 equals 1. So let's count out. 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. We know that this is the number 1. 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. We know this is the number 2. If we were adding it, we could put that 0 up there. So now 10/5 times 5. So we're going to count 10/5. 1, let's do this in a different color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10/5 equals 2. So the answer is 2. Our final problem for today's lesson will be 9, the whole number 9, times 1/4. And then that will be expressed in the answer will be a mixed number. So let's start out by drawing our number line. Here we're going to do it in a number line. And we know that we need 9/4. So again, we'll start with 0. And we know again that 4 over 4 equals 1. So let's do, this is 1/4. This would be 2, 3/4, and 4/4. And we know that's number 1. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. So this is number 2. This would be 8/4. And then we have one more fourth. So here's our 9/4 that you would have if we were to multiply this by 9. So let's look at now, let's count this out. Then if we count this, we would see 9/4 would equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9/4. So, but we want to show this in the form of a mixed number. So the mixed number, we know that this is 1, this is 2. So our answer right now, we have a whole number of 2. And then we have one more fourth left over here. So our answer would be this. So we can show that 9/4 equals 2 1/4. Okay, that's the end of Module 5, Lesson 23. In this lesson, let's review quickly. We did use a tape diagram to solve a multiplication problem by turning it into addition. We also used a number line, again turning our multiplication problem into division. We also showed a mixed number, 2 1/4 equals 9/4, and we did that by using a number line. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and you can move on to the class Kick and try some of these on your own.